So now we're going to take a look at a Trump interview on Newsmax where he is going to talk about how Fox News has turned their back on him and how he will not, he will not participate in the upcoming Republican primary debates because he's just too good. He's just too ahead to even need to bother with those little piss ants. And here's him saying all that. Let's take a look.
Then you have a hostile network like Fox. Like when I did the interview with Brett, I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay, but there was nothing friendly about it. You know, it was nasty. And I thought I did a good job. I've been given credit for doing a good job, but I've also, people said, why would you do it? Because it was really, you know, everything was like an unfriendly. It was always, everything was unfriendly. No smiling. No, let's have fun. Let's make America great again. Everything was like a hit.
The interview was like, no smiling, no let's have fun. It's an interview about how you're being charged with a bunch of crimes under the Espionage Act and obstruction of justice because you stole classified documents and refused to return them to the National Archives and actually engaged in cover-ups to hide them from the National Archives. So that's not supposed to really be like a hey, great buddy, woo! No fun, no smiles. What are you talking about, you psycho? And doesn't he sound almost as doddering as freaking Biden in this interview? It's getting pretty pathetic. Why the hell? Why is America going to be forced to choose between two completely out of their gourds, doddering old men who cannot talk? How is that the best choice for the leader of our country?
So, you know, you have a hostile network and you have people that are obviously their candidates are against you. And
oh man, what a sin. Other candidates being against you. By the way, barely any of the other candidates in this race are willing to even really say much against Trump. A lot of times they try to move to the right of Trump. You know, DeSantis, I saw recently, was saying, you know, he was getting mad at Trump because Trump didn't deliver on his promise of locking Hillary up. I saw Nikki Haley getting mad that he didn't do more saber rattling against China. So a lot of these people are trying to differentiate themselves from Trump by being like, I'm even more crazy right wing than Trump. It's like, okay. So none of them are really criticizing him other than Chris Christie. Chris Christie is putting forth some very tepid criticisms, but even he is like, well, I agree with a lot of his policies. I just don't like how he's mean sometimes, even though I'm also mean. It's like, he didn't have the decorum of a president, he says through his sugar haze after eating an entire box of freaking Krispy Kreme donuts.
They, therefore, are being hostile. And if you're leading by 30, 40, or 50 points, what's the purpose of really doing it?
Okay.
Then you have a hot.
So you heard it here. Trump does not want to do debates. He's said this before, but this is just the latest example of him making his intention to not participate in the primary debates known. I think this is a terrible decision for him. I get where he's coming from. The idea of like, well, hey, I'm so far ahead. But this is great exposure, and this is where people really get to contrast you versus your competition. And I want to remind everybody, it was in these debates that Trump probably shined the brightest he's ever shined. Like, Trump being a force of disruption on that debate stage and, you know, just being a bully to all of the other Republicans on the stage and making them look stupid. That was when Trump really seemed the most impressive as a candidate. It wasn't because he was, you know, his soaring oratory and his eloquence, and he was, oh, he's such a command of the English language. It was just because he was like a dumb kid who would just point at the emperor and be like, he's wearing no clothes. So in the Republican debates, Trump was kind of a guy that would call the other Republican candidates on their bullshit. And you know, without him there to be a check and a balance to that, you know, these debates are just going to be everyone else making their spiel, attacking Trump. Probably a lot of them calling him a coward for not being there. Probably a lot of them saying that he's denying the voters a chance to make an informed choice. You know, they're gonna put off. They're gonna be able to attack him, and he's not even going to be there to defend himself or push back at all. Now the question is, how many people will even watch those debates without Trump participating in them? Probably not a huge amount, but there's going to be curiosity about it. There's going to be millions of people that tune in and watch. And that's going to give people like DeSantis a great opportunity to differentiate themselves. If Trump, in fact, doesn't show up, I think he really probably should show up, because I think he would do just fine. I don't think there's really nothing that his fellow Republicans can say about him as an attack that isn't going to piss off the base. I guarantee you that the main argument that they're going to start making against Trump is that he's not electable. But, you know, you look at a lot of polls, and the polls are not really, there's not some giant chasm between Biden and Trump in the polls. You know, the polls are close. A lot of them have Trump ahead. So the unelectability argument probably isn't going to get them anywhere. So these people need to figure out some way to differentiate themselves from Trump. And the best opportunity they would ever get to do that was, hey, millions of people are watching, and you're on a stage with everybody competing against you but Trump. So I think Trump is kind of an idiot if he doesn't do these debates. Do you think Trump has the mental faculties to dominate a debate? Like I said, it doesn't take some sort of giant mental faculty. The nature of what Trump is, which is just a schoolyard bully that's going to zero in on everybody's greatest weakness on the stage, that's what he does. And he's just going to do that. You know, he's going to figure out the one little thing that's going to stick on everybody and just hammer that, because that was his style. And it was tremendously effective for him. He literally was elected already. Yeah, but he also lost already, too.